K방산의 진격이 내년에도 계속됩니다. 국방부 발표에 의하면 지난 2020년까지 30억 달러였던 방산 수출이 2021년 72억 5천만 달러에 이어 지난해 173억 달러로 역대 최고 기록을 달성했고 올해 포함 2년 평균 20조 원의 수출을 달성했다고 하는데요. 이러한 한국의 변화를 세계 각국이 주목하는 가운데 최근 미국 CNBC 방송은 한국의 강력한 방산 잠재력에 대해 특집 방송을 편성했습니다. 영상에는 2,000개가 넘는 댓글이 달리며 큰 반응을 불러왔는데요. 이건 갑자기 일어난 일이 아니다. 그들은 반도체, 2차 전지, 전기차, 디스플레이, 스마트폰, 가전, 조선 분야에서 세계 최고 수준의 제조 기술을 보유하고 있고 이러한 첨단 기술의 축적은 군수산업 발전의 밑거름이 됐다. 한국은 오랫동안 우위를 유지할 것입니다. 그들의 문화는 교육을 우선시하며 윤리적 기준과 업무 기준이 중요하기 때문입니다. 돈이 한국을 움직이는 유일한 이유가 아니기에 그들을 최고의 자리에서 밀어내는 것은 매우 어려울 것입니다. 한국의 기계 설계 및 제조 역량과 산업 기반은 놀랍습니다. 모든 프로세스는 낭비 없이 놀랍도록 경제적이며 효율적입니다. 한국은 작은 나라, 큰 영향력을 정해야 합니다. 한국에서 시간을 보낸 적이 있다면 한국인들이 빨리빨리 문화에 열광한다는 것을 알 것입니다. 빠르게 움직이고 행동하는 문화, 한국에 머물 수 있어서 즐거웠고 또다시 한국으로 돌아가고 싶습니다. 핵무기는 없지만 매일매일 북한을 상대해야 하는 나라가 강하지 않을 수 있을까? 미 공군장교 입장에서 보면 한국이 70년 넘게 북한을 위협에 맞서 국방력을 강화해왔다는 게 핵심이다. 댓글을 보면 K방산에 대한 막대한 신뢰가 느껴지는데요. 이들을 열광하게 한 CNBC의 방송 함께 보시죠.
Korea has ambitious plans to be the fourth largest weapons exporter by 2027 after the United States, Russia, and France.
In recent years, South Korea has edged out stiff competition from Western defense manufacturers and cheaper Chinese developers.
Korea has lots of weapons and has a potential to deliver it very quickly.
So how did South Korea become one of the world's biggest arms dealers? And could it even eclipse the likes of China and Germany? Between 2010 and 2017, Seoul more than tripled its total defense exports to $3.1 billion. In 2017 alone, 132 companies in South Korea were exporting arms to 83 countries. Since then, it's expanded its sales footprint beyond Asia to include Europe and South America.
This is the former Republic of Korea Seoul, a decommissioned frigate that has defended South Korea's seas for 3 decades.
A modified version of the ship is currently used by the Bangladesh Navy, and there are many other countries that have South Korean military hardware in service. From 2018 to 2022, the East Asian nation was the 9th largest weapons supplier globally, ahead of Israel, the Netherlands, and Turkey.
Korea has become Poland's second largest partner after the US in arms imports. It was essential for Poland in these very critical security circumstances surrounded my country. The Republic of Korea's armaments industry continues to cooperate with the US, which translates into compatibility with NATO standards. It's very important for Poland as a NATO member country.
This compliance with NATO means that these munitions and equipment meet common standards, allowing them to be used within the alliance. It took slightly more than 3 months for the first shipment to arrive in what is South Korea's biggest ever arms deal.
In 2018, Hungary ordered 44 Leopard tanks from Germany, and so far only 1 tank has been delivered 5 years after the signing the deal. So I think in comparison to the potential of European defense industry, the position of South Korean defense industry is quite strong.
But the growth of South Korea's defense industry was born out of necessity following the tragic war it fought against the North between 1950 and 1953.
There has been the long history of the military tension and conflict between North Korea, and that's why we kept our production line, we kept investing R&D. So from the conventional weapon system, we add more value with the high technology.
The war, which claimed millions of lives, saw the South Koreans initially overwhelmed by troops from the communist North, which was trained and supplied by China and Russia. The United States, under a United Nations mandate, came to the aid of the South Koreans, and an alliance was forged between both countries in 1953 as the war drew to a close. However, both South Korea and North Korea are technically still at war since no peace treaty was signed. In the years since, the scars of the war and periodic conflicts continue to haunt South Koreans today.
This patrol boat that I'm on belongs to the same class of ships that was involved in skirmishes as recent as 2002.
It was only in the 1970s when South Korea started to develop its domestic defense industry with urgency. There were two events leading up to it: provocations by the North in 1968 and the reduction of US troops in the country in 1971. The country was undergoing rapid economic growth during that period, referred to as the Miracle on the Han River. While the military benefited from the boom, its fledgling defense industry was still dependent on foreign technology.
South Korean defense industry has developed since the 1970s under several indigenous programs to increase the competitiveness of heavy industries like shipbuilding industries and to localize basic defense products like machine guns, artillery, tanks, and so on.
One of its aims is to reduce its reliance on foreign defense technology while building its domestic defense ecosystem, from technology to production lines.
South Korea's competitiveness in its defense industry actually comes from a few important and attractive distinctive factors, which are first, fast delivery timeline, and second, manufacturing efficiency and prowess, third,
We have a resilient logistics support system. Our customers, they are satisfied with our after-sale support.
Defense deals are ultimately reliant on the government of the day, which could change as political winds shift. There's also pressure for technology transfers to create jobs and boost domestic production capabilities.
Luckily, the Korean government is very supportive.
But are these enough to give its defense industry an edge? Other countries with well-established defense industries are looking to challenge South Korea for defense contracts.
France is already very well positioned as an attractive exporter of credible weapon systems. Also, if Turkish defense industry's capabilities rise with another price competitiveness and credible technology, which are currently South Korea's market advantages, then these two countries could be major concerns for South Korea.
But for now, demand for weapons is growing in the face of wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. In July 2023, Hanwha edged Germany's Rheinmetall to snag a $4.7 billion Australian contract for 129 Redback infantry fighting vehicles. It is one of many deals that have demonstrated the competitiveness of South Korea's military hardware on the global stage.
If this current pace of defense exports continues until 2027, then I think it's a very positive sign that South Korea could be one of the top 4 defense exporters in 2027.
여러분의 소중한 의견을 남겨주세요. 바쁘시더라도 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 지금까지 단골이시였습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.